Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Blue Bridge, and it ended Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1. So here's my match review. So let's get into it. Positive first, it was an improvement on last year's performance where we got humbled by Liverpool, got beat 4-1 in that game. We didn't really, we got outclassed. But today was a little bit different, but it's still a defeat. So, it's all well and good saying, yeah, it was a better performance, but a defeat's a defeat. And we need to start to learn how to beat these big sides. We still haven't got over the hurdle of beating one of the top three sides. We haven't beaten Liverpool, Man City or Arsenal in the last 3 or 4 seasons now. And that's got to change. And so anyway, but the annoying thing is, I thought we performed quite well. We came to Anfield, we dominated possession a lot, but it's the finer details, the small moments that cost us in this game. And if we do really want to be challenging for major honours in the next year or two, then we really need to iron out these little faults that we have in our game at the moment. Yeah, it was a positive start from us. And let me first start my rant on the refereeing, because today in that first half, the referee was shocking. To his credit, he was a bit better in the second half. He was a bit more fairer, but he played to the crowd in that first half. Shocking performance by him, where he was giving Liverpool everything, all the decisions, all the close. We had a big shout for a penalty when Sancho had his foot trodden on by Trent Alexander-Arnold. And if it was down the other end, he would have given it. Why? Because that's what he did. There was another one. Okay, for me personally, when I looked at that one, I wasn't annoyed that he didn't give it, because I know that the threshold is higher than what it has been in the past season. But I said, you know what? Okay, the only thing that's going to be annoying me is if there's a soft penalty down the other end that he gives. And that's what he did. A few minutes later, there was a soft penalty down the other end of the pitch, which he gives. Okay, Colwill didn't get the ball. He got a little bit of the man. But what's the difference between what happened then and the fact that Trent stood on the player's foot? If you're given a penalty for that one, surely you got to be given a penalty for the other one. These were the same. This was the same threshold, and I'm looking at this is the same referee in the same match, so I'm looking at this a similar threshold. And the other thing was, he was quick to give another penalty as well. Thankfully, VAR ruled it out when they deemed that Sanchez got most of the ball, which he did. And that one again, he was quick to give, but yet he didn't give the other one. So it wasn't enough for VAR to overrule it. Because if that one was given, VAR would not have overruled the decision when they saw the stamp on the foot by Trent Alexander-Arnold. And that's what I'm saying. We need strong referees when we go to places like Anfield, because you're playing to the crowd. And if you're the referee, you're not going to give a decision down, especially down the cop end or whatever. So that was my major gripe. And that could have changed the game. That could have changed the outlook of the game. And the thing is, Liverpool, fair play to Curtis Jones, who quite rightly won the man of the match. He was the one who got fouled for the first penalty, I believe, which Mo Salah put away. But the second half, now we got back into the game, and quite deservedly so, because I thought we did enough to deserve an equaliser. And it was a decent finish by Nicholas Jackson. I have an apology to make. I was cursing him because I actually thought he hit the side netting. I didn't think it went in. And again, the linesman this time put his flag up, but he wasn't offside. Bent his run perfectly, timed it. VAR ruled it onside, and we got back into the game. But what we did after that was shambolic, I'm afraid. We always know that you're always vulnerable after you score a goal. And I pity, actually, because the manager, after he scored that goal, was ready to make 3 substitutions. I wish they had got ready before he had made those substitutions. But, hindsight's a wonderful thing. But Reece James, okay, I don't really want to knock the guy, because this is his first game back after an injury. But come on, this is basic football. You are looking across the line, yeah, but your man ran from behind you. So you got to be, as a footballer, you don't only look across the line on the ball, you look at where the runners are coming from. So he totally left Curtis Jones unmarked and just, it's just after we scored the goal as well. He just left him unmarked, which is criminal, really. As a fullback, you got to track your runner. You track your runner, he doesn't score. Other person to blame for that is Sanchez. We'll never win anything with Sanchez in goal. I'm sorry, we'll even struggle to get to top 4 with Sanchez in goal. Okay, he makes a world-class save now and again, but his overall game, if you're looking at a goalkeeper, you don't just look at the world-class save. That's what they're paid for. I keep saying that. You're paid to make those saves. What you judge a goalkeeper is on the amount of errors that they make. And this guy makes far too much errors for me. He nearly conceded a goal where he passed it back to, was it Gakpo or somebody? And his decision making is shocking. Got away with that penalty, just got his foot to the ball. I think that might have been playing on his mind when he hesitated in coming out again when Curtis Jones was in on goal. Had he come out, because Curtis Jones' touch, you look at his touch, his first touch was poor. Alisson, if Alisson's playing for us or someone, a decent goalkeeper, he's pouncing on that first touch and he's grabbing the ball and taking it away from him on that first touch. But because he stayed on his line, he allowed him to take that bad first touch, and it was a decent enough finish, but he shouldn't have come to that. And he does that too often. I remember last year at Anfield, we did the same thing with Mo Salah, where he was late out and he dived in installments in one of those games as well. So we need, these are the games against the big teams that count. And he has his bozo moments against these big teams. Does it get to him too much? Is he not the right temperament to be playing in these big matches? We saw it against Arsenal as well. In the big games, he just doesn't have that personality or that presence. So for me, I didn't want to invest in a goalkeeper. I did say that I wanted a proper goalkeeper. And okay, big save now and again, yeah, but I need more consistency from my goalkeeper, and that's what you're measured on. How consistent you are, and as I said, how many mistakes you make. So you make a lot of mistakes, you're not really for me. Lavia, mention has to go to Lavia. Again, he only played 50 odd minutes. I think that was a game plan all along, because these guys are coming back from injuries. You don't really want to risk another long-term injury, so he was always going to be playing 55, 60 minutes of the game. And I thought he was superb, beating the press, the Liverpool press, and his passing was quite good. And that's where we got a bit of time on transition. I did say in my match preview the other day how Sancho, the only thing about Sancho is because Liverpool, funnily enough, actually, they didn't play that high line against us. They gave us a bit of respect. They played the mid-block, the low block. And it was good that the way they managed the game at the end when they went 2-1 up. So credit must be given to them for that. But with Sancho, again, against Alexander-Arnold, and I always do that to myself. I always say he's not the best defender. He always seems to play his best games against Chelsea. But the reason is Sancho made it a bit easier for him today. He hasn't got that pace. When Neto came on in the second half, he gave him a bit more trouble. He was a bit more direct, running at him, and we saw a few more opportunities. Sancho made it a little bit easier for him today. Well, it's not only Sancho's fault though, because part of that as well, I feel, is that the Maresca, he got it wrong today. I think he got the team selection wrong by putting Malo Gusto at left back. I just didn't think that didn't do Sancho any favours as well, because Sancho, we badly missed Cucurella today. We badly missed Fofana as well, because Cucurella, he gives us those runs and then it allows Sancho that space, but we didn't see enough of that from Gusto. And when Gusto did get that ball out wide, because he had to keep checking in on his right foot, it made it easier for Trent. So I'd like to see Vega play today. I thought when Vega came on, he's one of those guys who likes to disrupt play. He's got a bit of a nasty streak in him as well. Salah didn't really get past him a lot when he came on, and so I thought that for me, I would have started him over, rather than playing Gusto out of position. And Tosin, for me, he was lucky, lucky that he had defensive cover, because he could have got a red. It was this kind of similar situation to Saliba one. The only difference was that Cole was closer to, was it Salah? Jota. He was closer to Jota than Saliba was yesterday. Ben White, I think it was yesterday. That's why it wasn't given as a red. And also, and Tosin gave away his couple of sloppy passes. So for me, again, in the big matches, he gets found wanting. So a couple of bad defensive lapses, refereeing a bias, and a couple of moments where we could have done better with our finishing. I'm thinking of the Renato Vega header, which should have been executed. The shot at the end by Gusto, which could have been more powerfully hit, maybe. So we had opportunities. But the last thing I want to talk about is Cole Palmer. I thought Cole Palmer was poor today. Okay, he was heavily marked, but even his shooting wasn't on, or was a bit off today. And I like to see Maresca when he took the easy option by taking off Madueke. Madueke had a good first half. He kind of phased away in the second. But sometimes just take off Palmer. If Palmer's not doing well, take him off. We've got Nkunku is a very good player. He put him on the left. I'd like to see Nkunku playing at 10 and just keep the width of Madueke on there. So sometimes you just got to make those decisions. Just take off your star man if he's not performing. And today, he just didn't look himself today, and I didn't see him making an impact, which he didn't. So for me, sometimes you need to make those brave decisions, even in big matches. So he can learn from that, I think. So I wasn't impressed with some of the selections today from Maresca. But in all, I saw an improvement. I know it's not great, we didn't win the game, but I've seen some improvements. But we just really need to get over that mental block, and we've got Arsenal to come soon, Man United. We've got to try and win one of those games against the big boys, and just to give this side a bit of confidence, because what you saw today was a more experienced Liverpool side now how to manage the game. But then we saw a Chelsea side who, once they went down a goal, they were a bit lost for ideas. Although we had a lot of possession, we were kind of lost for ideas when it came to the final third. So that's my thoughts of the game. What do you think of the game? Stick your opinions in the comment section below, and don't forget, as always, like, subscribe, turn on post notification to be notified every time I make any video. So take care, bye bye.